Okay, so I'm going to be using two computers, so it might take me a few seconds to move back and forth. Um, but we're just going to briefly go over what's going to go into your needs assessment assignment. And remember, um, first, you're going to be handing in your lit review next week. The needs assessment is due in 2 weeks, not next week. So don't go too crazy. I just wanted to give you kind of a heads up over what goes into a needs assessment for this assignment. Now, this is from the syllabus, okay? And normally this is not, I did not have this as part of class assignments. I just focused on your paper and the different sections in it. So this is a new assignment for California, but Edinburgh and Clarion did include needs assessment. And I think the reason for that is really based on CACREP requirements, and that we need some type of record, some type of evaluation that you understand what a needs assessment is. So it's not enough for me just to teach you about a needs assessment. You have to demonstrate that you understand what a needs assessment is. So that's why we have added this assignment. And so as you can see, it's in your syllabus, so you don't have to worry about writing too much down unless you just want to make some extra notes. But as I said in the other lecture, you may have your needs assessment population be either the population you're writing about in your lit review and your paper, or you can use a population with whom you want to work later after you graduate as a counselor. So either one is fine. And if you're doing it with the population that you want to work with later on, then you have to do an individual needs assessment. You have to do it yourself. If you do not have a partner for your lit review or paper, then you have to do this yourself. If you do have a partner, though, that you're working with on your lit review and paper, and you choose to do your needs assessment on that population, you may work together on this assignment, and you simply both submit the same assignment to your Dropbox. I just need you to submit something so that I can show that you did it and give you a grade, even though both of you are submitting the same one. Okay, so that's the topic of your needs assessment. If you are acting as a clinical mental health counselor, that would be kind of your area. If you're acting as a school counselor, you could write it for a school district, either one. The instructions are pretty straightforward. We talked about the population. Construct a needs assessment that includes 3 questions. So that's not too many. 3 questions for participants. You'll come up with the hypothetical answers to these questions. But so you're not going to give this needs assessment to anybody. But remember the types of questions I was asking in my example. So you're going to ask your questions about the topic that you're focusing on, but the general concept is basically what's already being done. Is it working? Is it not working? Does it need to change? Does it need to be discontinued? Second concept is what's not being done that is needed, and what are the different aspects that need to be implemented that have to do with those things. So those are the main concepts. You're going to apply those question concepts to a specific population. So, it's not going to be general like I just phrased it. It's going to be applied to your population. So using needs assessment answers, discuss a program you would like to implement to serve this population and why this program would be beneficial. You can use the information that you found in your lit review to answer these questions. So you can pretend that you did a needs assessment, but really you can, if you're using the population that you're writing about already, you'll notice that these questions are very similar to the questions that you're asking in your lit review. So you should know general answers to these questions. If you're planning on working with a population later after you graduate and you want to write about that, you can estimate the answers. There's a need. You can generalize your answers to fit those needs. So either way, you should have a good idea about what the answers to these questions are, either from your lit review or the reasons why you want to work with a certain population later. So basically, you're going to develop some type of purpose for the program. And the purpose is going to be meeting the needs that aren't already being met. Just like the model you're going to come up with later for your paper. So it's kind of all connected. And then you're going to come up with two objectives, two goals for the program you want to develop. What would those goals be? And think about a goal also as being something that you could measure in some way, either with remember, so one is by more qualitative, by doing the interviews, another is more data driven, or a combination of the two. And then you're going to develop the program evaluation plan. Which type of evaluation would you conduct? Who's the audience? Who will conduct the evaluation? Which approach would be used in the evaluation? And these come right from the textbook chapter that we just went over. Just use that chapter. You don't have to get anything external. Just use that chapter. And how often will the data need to be collected? And I just keep that answer simple: yearly, annually, once annually. And then there's criteria, and that just kind of breaks down what I just went over. And you want to do everything, of course, in the exceeds expectations column. Don't just do meets expectations. You can all exceed expectations, I'm sure. And really just follow those 6 questions in the syllabus. You could even label those, you could even write down those 6 questions and answer each one. So that would keep it pretty simple. And if you just did one paragraph for each question. Number 6, you might need a couple paragraphs. That's a little longer. But honestly, one paragraph for each question would be like 2.5 to 3 pages, easy. So honestly, keep it simple. Just answer those questions in the syllabus. Number 6 will have some sub questions, some subcategories, and you could list those and answer each one. But it doesn't have to be anything too crazy, 2 to 3 pages is all we're looking for. All right, I'm going to stop the recording and then you can ask any questions.